Hello everyone, we're going to be making a basic network today. So the four things that we're going to be doing is that we're going to put the nodes into the logical topology, we're going to configure the PCs, we're going to configure the router, and we're going to do some show commands to make sure everything is all good. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to put the nodes into the logical topology, which is going to be two switches, two PCs. Actually, let's make it four PCs because we need it for each LAN and one router to connect the two LANs. So let's go and pick a random router. Let's go put it in the middle. We're gonna call it R1. Okay. We're not gonna do anything fancy. We're just gonna be testing connectivity. We're not gonna be going too in depth into this. We'll take a PC. We're gonna call it PC1. Oops. Okay, let's just say that's PC1, and we're gonna do this PC2. Okay, and then we'll put one on the other side, PC3, and we're gonna get PC4. Here we go. Looking pretty nice. All right, now let's go and get a switch, right? A regular switch, and we're gonna put it on each side of the medium, right? We're gonna call one SW1 for switch 1 and SW2 for switch 2. Okay, great. Now, if we head over here to the connections area, which is this little lightning bolt, there's an automatically choose connection type, but what we're going to be choosing is the straight through copper cable, and we're going to connect the gigabit ports together. So let's put G00 here, and let's go get the G01, put it over here to this G01. We're trying to make it as uniform as possible, and then from here we're going to go do for PC1 F01, right? And for PC2 F02, so it's more uniform, right? So F01 for PC3 and F02 for PC4. Okay, great, right? Great. Now let's go to the option and preferences real quick, and we'll just show the link lights. As you can see that they are in establishing mode. We're gonna just have to wait until everything is getting converged, and if we see these two green lights. But while we're at it, we're gonna go to step, right? We're gonna continue on. So we have two networks that we're gonna be doing here. When you're learning subnetting, we're not gonna go over subnetting. We're just gonna have pre-configured networks, right? So we have 192.168.0.0 and 192.168.1.0. Okay, actually, you know what? We might as well just make this 1 and 2. So, it's easier to distinguish between the two networks. Okay, so let's go and label it with the labeler here. This one here, place a note. So let's do 192.168.1.1, right? 1.0 network. And then we'll do 192.168.2.0. Okay, great. So now we have two networks that we're going to be working with. So let's start off with this one right here, right? We'll start off with this one right here, and then next we'll start off with this one. Okay. Okay, so let's go and make this look nice. Okay, so let's go and start this off. So for PC1, right, the R1, right, these are all going to be .1 networks. So let's go and label it real quick. So these are going to be all .1 because the usual default gateway that you would want to choose is either the highest, which is 254, or .1 within the network of a /24 network, which is usually we're just going to put as .1. So let's go keep it uniform, and we're going to go on to the desktop. We're going to go to IP configuration, right? Actually, we're on step 2 already, which is we're going to be configuring the default gateway, and we're going to give it a static IP address, and we're going to ping from LAN to LAN. So basically PC to PC, which we're able to do. And then we'll also show a MAC address table as well. Okay. Oops. Okay, so let's go and start off with PC1, right? So here's the LAN, and we'll give it 192.168.1.10, right? And then we'll automatically give it a classful subnet mask. You can Google that if you want. And since we already established what our default gateway will be, it's going to be .1.1. Okay, so that's all you need to do. It's just give it an IP address, a subnet mask, and a default gateway. And now this one should be able to reach PC2 as soon as we are done with this setup. So let's go close this up, and let's go to PC2. Go to IP configuration, and we're going to give it .20 this time. So 192.168.10.20. Great. Okay, now let's go and give it its subnet, or .1.20, sorry. .1.1, .1.20, and I think this should be good. Let's go double check, right? So let's go and check it out. So if we go to the command prompt, right? Let's go to the command prompt and let's go, and then we'll open up this one for now. If we do an enable, and we'll do the command here as shown, the show MAC address table, I don't think anything should be there, or maybe it is because it's a simulator. So let's do a show MAC address table. Show MAC address table. All right, so it already learned it dynamically. Usually it really doesn't show. So let's go see. Let's go see. So let's do a IP config. You can do /all if you want, but we're just gonna do IP config for now. It will show everything that we need. So here we go. We know our IPv4 address. We got our subnet mask, and we got our configured default gateway, right? And if we do an IP config /all, it will show everything about our connection. So here is our physical address, right? 4C50, and we'll go and check this one out. See, the MAC address table sees it as 4C50 because we already configured it. Let's go over here and let's go do an IP config again, see if we did this correctly. Okay, there you go, 1.20. We got our subnet mask, we got our default gateway, and I think, and if I'm correct, if we configure this all correct, which I think we have, we should be able to ping from PC1 to PC2. So let's go ping from PC2 to PC1. So 192.168.1.10. Okay, great. So we are able to ping from PC2 to PC1. That means we are able to go ping from PC1 to PC2. Okay, now let's go and finish off this network. You can pause the video if you want to try this one this time, but it's basically the same principles. All right. Okay, now that we have unpaused it, let's go and configure it together. All right, here we go. So let's go do this again. 192.168.2.10 subnet mask, and let's go 192.168.2.1. Okay, remember 2.1. We're on a different network. Okay, so let's do this one. 192.168.2.20. Okay, 68.2.1. Let's go confirm. Let's do an IP config. 2.20, 2.1. IP config. 2.10, 2.1. And in theory, we should be able to ping from PC1 to PC2. So let's go ping to PC2 this time, or PC4 in this case. So 192.168.2.20. All right, so we were able to ping. So now let's I have a question. Are we able to ping from this LAN from PC2 to PC4? Actually, we're unable to because we haven't set up the default gateway yet. The default gateway is basically the gate to the outside of your house. Without that gateway, you can't all you can do is just ping people aside you, or you can only talk to people aside you. You can't talk to anyone outside your house. You know, that's an analogy that we're doing. So if we try pinging to 192.168.2.10, it's going to be it's not going to be able to ping. See, request timeout, and let's go speed time up. See, request timeout. We have 100% loss. So let's go and do step 3. Configure router, the interfaces, and we'll also do a no shutdown command to activate these interfaces. So let's go into the router, and let's go do a no, and let's go straight to the thing. So we'll start, okay, let me go redo. So you always have to start off with the enable command, right? You can do an en for short. You'll learn these shortcuts later. Next, you would want to do a configure terminal. You'll learn the shortcuts for this one. Configure terminal goes to global configuration mode. Google that if you need to. And then we'll also go to the interface, right? But first, I'll show you guys this. We're going to be doing the show IP interface brief command. So we're going to do a, let's go back down here for a bit, okay? You could do exit to leave. So let's go and do a show IP interface brief. This should show us what is connected and what is not. So it looks like we have gigabit Ethernet 0.0 and 0.1, which is our 2 gigabit ports. And as you can see, it says there's an administratively down thing. So that means it's connected, but it's administratively down. Okay, and it looks like our IP addresses are unassigned, and we haven't done a no shutdown yet. Okay, so let's go to gigabit Ethernet 0.0. So here we go. Let's go back again. Remember to go to global config, you do configure terminal. And then let's also go to the interface, which we can do gigabit, right? You press G and then 0.0. Okay. So our gigabit 0.0, if we highlight over the red right here, we should be able to see that it is gigabit Ethernet 0.0. Believe so. Okay, let's go check the preferences. Okay, there you go. Let's just do this. All right, there you go. So our G00 and G01, right? And here's our G01, G01. So here we go. Let's just do G00 for now, right? We're on G00. And what is our default gateway for this? Right, .1. So we'll do an IP address command, right? Right? If you do IP and you do question mark, you get certain things. Here, look, IP. When you do a question mark, here we go. Address, question mark. Now we're gonna have to put in an IP address in here. Okay. So 192.168.1.1, right? Question mark. Now we're gonna have to put the subnet mask. You'll learn this later on, but the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, right? And once we enter it, it should go through, no problems whatsoever. And even though we configured this, if we do a show IP interface brief, let me just show this. We did configure it, but it's administratively down. How do you make it go back up, right? We actually do which is the next step after this, the no shutdown command. That's how you do it. So if you do a no shut or no shutdown, right? Oh, spelled it wrong. We do a no shutdown. It should say that the line protocol and interface changed to status of up. Okay. And if we do a do show IP interface brief, right? The do means that we're able to do it on config mode and we don't have to go to the executive mode. Okay. And it should be up. Up and up. See, that's what you want. You want both to be up. You'll learn this later on. Okay, so let's go to the interface, right? Notice how I can be in a certain interface and I can just put in the interface, right? Right? You can also like do it like this. You can also do it like this, like shorten it out with G and then 0/1 for your interface. Unlike the one unlike how we did the other one right here. When you're in an interface, you could also do this for short. So when you press this, there should be no problems. Now we're in G01 and let's go and add it, right? So what's the IP address for this one? IP add. We could also do just add, not address. See, if we tab, it will fill it out for us. IP add 192.168.2.what.1. And then let's go fill it up with the 255.0s and let's press enter. Give it a no shut. And let's go and check if this thing's up. So let's do a do show IP int brief, interface brief, and it looks like we have both of them up, which is great, right? Now the other one that I'm going to show you, right? The other one I'm going to show you before we check connectivity is we're going to be checking the routing table and we're going to do a show run. So let's go and check the routing table. So show routing, right? Show route, I think. Oh, show IP route, basically. So this is the command that you would want to do, the show IP route, right? Sorry, I was just getting too carried away with myself. So show IP route is what you would want to look at. Notice how we have the C and L's, and look at this. Look at this, see? It notices that we inputted these. These are the routes directly connected to G01 and G00, which is great. Okay, and then the next command that we're going to be doing is a show run. Right? If we press all this together, we lengthen this up a little bit. If you scroll up and down, you'll see that this shows everything that you've placed down in here. Every command that you have done, every command that you've placed will be in this command, the show run. Show run is really important for troubleshooting, and you'll be doing this a lot. It'll even show the host name, it'll show the IPv6 address that you're putting in, and showing everything that you've done. It shows the VLAN, right? You'll learn this all later, but for now, it shows that we have configured this, right? It shows that we have configured this. Notice how interface VLAN has no IP address and it's on shutdown. It will show that it's on shutdown. This one has no shutdown. That means it's on. Okay. So with all of this being said, do you think that PC1 will be able to ping to PC4? Yes. So let's go and try pinging to PC4 now. Right? So let's go and do a ping command. Remember, ping 192.168.2.20. See, just wait for it. Request timeout, reply, reply, reply. Notice how we didn't have the first ping. The reason why we didn't have the first ping is because what's happening is that we are issuing what happens on these computers is that it does a ARP request, address resolution protocol. What basically happens is that it's just trying to find where's PC4. So what's gonna happen is that PC1 sends to the switch. The switch will say this will need to go to my default gateway, right? But if the switch didn't learn it, it will throw out all ports except for the port it came from. Okay. PC1, right, will send it to the default gateway. The default gateway on router 1, G00, will say, hey, I know the address, or this address is on my network on G01. So it will forward out of G01, and G00 will not have to like worry about anything at all because it only just cares about routing. So G01, right, the packet is sent to G01, and then it is sent over. But before all this, it needs to do an ARP request, meaning that it needs to figure out what's going on. Okay, I don't need to go in depth of this, but it's just saying, it's just, there's a lot of who's this, I am here, and that's all you need to know. It's just who's this, I'm here, and here we go. They forward and send. That's all they need to do. Okay, so to check for ARP, you do, I think, ARP-A, and there you go. See, it shows the internet address and the physical address and their associated their associated MAC addresses. So that's literally what it is. You see, notice how PC1's ARP cache is .1 and .20. Okay, because it's trying to figure out everyone on the network. Okay, so yeah, we have did it. You know, we did it. We did everything. I've showed you everything, and I hope that this lesson, even though it's kind of scuffed, I hope that you learn from this. And now that you have a basic network installed, it looks like you can now create more networks within the network. I don't know what am I going to teach next, but this is basically a simple network topology, and you learned a couple of commands on the way. You can take a picture of this if you want to. Well, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day.